going on, everybody? When I say everybody, I mean these three Italian seasonings, because nobody's on this. It's exciting to be here. You know why it's exciting to be here? Because we don't know what we're doing. That's our secret. And I feel like I'm the least prepared for this day and this event and anything that I've been involved in my life. And I feel great about that. What's going on? LiveonLive. My name is Peter Petro. Wow. This is awesome. Let's do it. Should we? Oh, dude, are you serious? Matt, let me just tell you. I just look before I bring you on, because that's probably the most awkward way to do it, is talk about you in front of you. I just noticed, because we have like two accounts. I have two accounts. I have like the LiveonLive account, and then I have my Peter account, and I went into the LiveonLive account, and I'm like, we have 21 followers. That's huge. And I'm like, who the hell's following us? And you're on there. I'm like, Matt's on there. Bad idea, man. Matt, come on in. Trying to bring both of you guys in. Matt, you were in for a second, and then you weren't. I promise. Dory!
Hello.
Wait a minute. I hear you on speaker, but I don't hear you on this guy. Oh, he raised his hand. I got you, Matt.
Can you hear me now? Oh, you're freezing on us.
If I'm like trying to imagine what Matt's thinking, he's like, is it too late for me to just be like, yo, dude, my Wi-Fi.
There we go.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, Matt? How are you?
How are you?
Pete,
really
it's funny.
good.
I warned him. I was like, we probably won't drag you until 10. And here you are. You're like, yes, let's drag him in right now.
That's fine.
Well,
let me make a post in my Discord real quick. I'll let everyone know.
Let me adjust it so like my chair in the back of my, hold on.
It's just younow.com/liveonlive.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Now it looks professional.
All right. I'm saying I'm currently doing a Q&A. If you want to come hang out, maybe ask me questions. Is that cool? Anything else I should add?
That sounds good.
It's kind of up to you, because we don't know what we're doing.
Hey, I love that.
That's our claim to fame, and we're gonna just ride that into the sunset.
I get it right off the cliff.
So, well, if there's a cliff, we're gonna do it. It's sort of like whatever is ahead of us, that's what we've got ahead of us.
Sounds great.
So normally what we do, like the last 3 times we've done this,
Sure.
is
Keep talking like we're professionals.
we just bullshit for like half an hour beforehand.
Cool.
And we do that to just sort of warm up the vibe and then let people randomly come in and stuff like that. So normally we don't like rope you guys in first, meaning like the real talented people. We just kind of let you like watch and go, oh my God, what did I get myself into? So this is like super free form.
Sweet.
We're super psyched to have you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's good to be here. Well, I say here, I'm in my home, but it's good to be live with you guys. Yeah.
Of course. So I'll give you sort of, I'm sure you've probably heard this about 19 times from Tori, but I'll give you this sort of official, like, what is this? What am I doing? How did I get into this? So this is obviously a format to try and kind of talk about what people that are doing good things musically on live streams, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it, and what's working. And I would say there's kind of like 2 lenses that we try and sort of balance. One is like artistically, like what are you doing that's just feels good to you, feels good to your fans, feels good to people musically.
Sure.
And the other is like, okay,
how are you making this work? Are you growing? Are you getting people that are supporting you in various ways? And how does that sort of, so we can talk a blend of both of those, right?
Yeah,
But
I'm an open book.
Yeah, I noticed.
I
So,
found it's a lot easier that way, you know, because
yeah.
in the past I wasn't. And so when you hold things back, yeah, there's a sense of like mystery, like an element to it, but at the same time, it just feels so much more natural. And that's one of the biggest things I find with live streaming is that you can be yourself, and if people like it, they like it, they hang out. And that's so cool to me because I've never been able to just be myself comfortably.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man,
well, I
like,
obviously you can be yourself, but no, all you.
No, I mean, I sort of, one of the things that's so cool about this format is it's not all anybody, if that's fair. Like even like I'll give you a little vignette into my own experiences and impressions. So like I got a really good friend who has a background in music, went to Berkeley, has worked as a professional bassist for a long time, and also has a background as an actor and trained and did like, I don't know, like all the different techniques and learns how to be present and reveal and be, you know, and like, so there's these two crafts of like showing up, being present, owning your shit, all that stuff that actors go through. And I said, you're gonna like this live on live. You're gonna like this live stream thing. You should like look into it. And in particular, I told him about you. I go, this is someone who can do both of those things. He's a musician's musician, right? And you have this ability to just be you, which is a thing, you know? So, and he, you know, he said it better than I did. I mean, he may come on. But he said yesterday, he was like, you know, I mean, he said, you know, you could learn acting like in an hour. Have you ever done any acting, or have you ever thought about it?
Never. Well, no, like, don't get me wrong. Like the idea, if it ever came up, I wouldn't say no because I feel like that'd be fun to try. But I don't know if that's ever been something. Like, yeah, that's the avenue I want to go. I feel so passionate about music, so that's always been my focus.
So, dude, I mean, I feel like we have this amazing time with you. So I want to just dive right in. So normally I wait and we do all this sort of like stuff and we talk.
Sure.
Let me make sure, but I would love to just ask you and explore some stuff with you. So let's just hit it. And then
here, hold on.
Again,
I have an idea. Let me. Yeah, this might not do much, but if I jump out real quick, I think I can share it. I don't know if anyone on you now who follows me still follows, but like, why not see if anyone will pop in? Let me.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Some people. Sure.
Yeah,
because we have at least 19.
I got you, bro.
At least.
Heck yeah. Here, I'll
be
20
since
right
I last checked.
Sounds good.
Tori, what's
we
up?
had? Hello. We have some people coming on.
So yeah.
So from, was it Alexa Kwakuman?
So full disclosure, my name's Peter Petro. I'm an amateur at this. So you guys are all coming on and you're like, isn't he supposed to like say hi to us and like be like, what's up? I am. You were right about that. Kwakuman, what's going on? Thank you for being a fan. Alex,
Pokemon.
You became a fan of Matt Walden, a smart move. And then Matt just invited like 29 gazillion people. So
yeah, 29,000. Which he started on you now, so
thousands. Yes, he did.
Hey, thanks for the likes. Alex, Alexa, I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, Matt's raising his hand again.
Okay, let's do it.
Let him back in.
I didn't see it on here. I didn't see the raised hand here. Let me try something else. There it is. Boom.
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 What's up? Yeah, I don't know if any of those people are still on there at all, but you never know. Worth a shot.
Thanks. Yeah.
So let's just dive right in, man. And we can talk about anything you want to talk about. I'm super stoked because I'm a musician. I have a background. You know, I played like 5 instruments. We can go as nerdy as you want with that. I
Sure.
love your music. I'm super excited about what you're doing musically. We can talk
Thanks.
about production. We can talk about your career. We can talk about live streaming, which is technically what we're supposed to be talking about. But I see it all as sort of one big boat.
Yeah.
And people like yourself, I think, are sort of have a really cool vantage point on how live streaming fits into all the rest of it. So
Okay.
I think anything, it's fair game. You mentioned something a second ago about like, you know, there was a moment in my life where I was not as real or I was not as transparent. Did you mean on live streaming? Or
I just
like,
kind of as a whole on social media, I felt like I needed to be something, and you know, it turns out that's not what you need. You know, because like people want the first of something, and it just so happens that we're all kind of already the first of something.
right.
So you know, just being yourself, but that's the hardest thing to kind of truly encompass. So I was like trying to be maybe cooler than I was, and you know, growing up as it was just kind of a long time ago. So I was still kind of learning who I was, I guess. But
Sure.
yeah, yeah, you kind of get it.
No.
Go through the
So
motions, right?
what's cool about that is there was a moment in time where you were in that space, and now there's this time where you're clearly not in that space. I think part of the reason people love you so much is like, you know, you are who you are. So for someone, again, I my mind always comes back to this same sort of like question in a way, which is like for someone that's looking at this, or they're live streaming now, or they're just getting into it, they're an artist, and they're feeling that same shit you felt, which is like, yeah, like I feel like I have to be X on social media,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to get past that. Any tips, any stories, anything you could go, you know, there was a moment where I was on the beach and I realized, no, fine.
Honestly, that kind of was what happened. But like,
I do it.
just kind of, I guess, pushing through it, you know, because we get in our heads a lot, and you feel a lot of pressure to be like other people. But I don't know. I took a huge step back from social media as a whole, and I feel like that kind of helped me recollect my thoughts on what I want to do, what purpose I wanted to kind of go forward with. And I don't know. There's not really a tip for that. That's more just kind of figuring out life. I can't tell you. Everyone else is gonna have like a different kind of outlook on it, you know. So
Can you talk a little bit about Matt as the artist and how that turned into Matt as the streaming artist?
By the way, who's being chased by the cops right now?
Oh. Might be me.
just curious.
I love it. Yeah. So you're talking how I got into streaming?
Yeah.
It's a great question. I think someone mentioned Twitch to me a long time ago, and like everyone kind of presumes it's about like video games. That's usually what your first thought is when you think of Twitch. And I think I was just browsing all the channels, you know, because like I play video games, but I can't say that I'm very good at video games, and I'm not nearly entertaining enough to like build a career out of that. So I was like, maybe there's something else on here, and it turns out there was a music channel. And I scrolled down a little bit, I saw these people were playing covers, and don't get me wrong, when you're playing music locally, you're playing bars, and you're playing bars to people who don't give a rat's ass of what you're playing, you know, because you're sitting there and you're playing a song that you think is great, and they're enjoying their beer talking to their friend, and they really don't care what you're playing. You're background music. Right. And so for the longest time, I was like, damn, I really wish I had an opportunity to play to people who care, you know, the right kind of people. And so I saw these people on Twitch, and they're all requesting songs, but it seemed like they cared to be there, you know, because you kind of went out of your way to pop into someone's live stream, to say something, to follow them, to hang out, to become part of the community. And I was kind of like, there's something here, because it's as if you're playing a local gig, except they care to be there. So it's like it's an in-between between like a large scale show, which it can definitely get there. Like if you've got streamers like Autopilot, streamers like a couple, what's the name, Asis or something of that nature, but they're like a duo that sings, and they constantly average like 800 to 1,000 people every stream. I'm like, that's a legitimate concert that you're throwing right there. And they're like, "Oh, thank you
Yeah.
so much for the tip. We'll play your song right now." And I'm like, that's like insane. Imagine if you went to a local bar and you had 800 people there all going like, "Oh, dude, it blows my mind." So I was like, you know what? I'm missing an opportunity here. I need to be on this. I need to connect with people because there might be someone there who I can reach with my music who like it could change their life. It could change my life. You never know. So
you feel like
you
feel like the listeners were more engaged than when you go to a live show?
No. I think it depends on what kind of live show you're talking about. So like if we're selling tickets to like the Matt Walden show, that's gonna be a little different because everyone there, if they bought a ticket, they want to be there, you know. But like if I'm playing a bar gig to people who don't care, it's so much better to be on Twitch than it is to be playing in a bar. Because I'm having so much more fun doing this, man. Like, oh my God, when I play at bars, sometimes it drains your life, and you're like, they want Sweet Caroline again. Like don't get me wrong, I love playing, and that's what I try to always just have the time of my life. But it just feels like people care so much more, and the community is so great on Twitch. I'm a fan first. I'm a fan first for sure.
So who are some artists that you go to when you like that inspire you just on a purely musical, like if you're just on there listening to music, what are you listening to?
On Twitch?
Yeah, or just live streaming in general, like who are some artists that you feel like for whatever reason, musically or whatever they're doing, it's you like it just as an individual?
There's a bunch actually. So there's this guy, his name's Autopilot, and I think he might be like the best looper on Twitch. He has this insane, it looks like a command station, I swear, and his room looks so incredible, and he's looping everything with Ableton Live in front of you, but the quality is insane, the panning is ridiculous. He literally has like a button you push and the guitar's panned in your left ear, and then he hits another one and the drums sound like they're behind you. And I'm like, with headphones, this is insane to hear this live. You know what I mean?
Do you use Ableton or what are you using?
I have a loop station, so I'm doing everything with just my feet.
Huh. So you have no DAW, you have no software.
No, really? Everything you hear from me is live. Just because I haven't been able to dive into Ableton yet. It stresses me out. There's like a huge learning curve. I'm like, I'm not quite there. But that is a goal of mine. But he definitely has the best sound that I've heard. And then you have other ones that are super good at entertaining. Like Samuel Tucker Young was one of the first streamers I ever watched. And that man knows how to entertain. He is so funny. So he can do anything, but he's amazing at music too. So he'll play music and then he'll talk in between, and it just keeps you engaged over time.
Kind of with both of those, like you said, one's very entertaining, one's music and sound quality is just mind-blowing. How did you find like your niche? How much personality to throw in, music to throw in, like your sweet spot as a streamer?
Well, I appreciate you thinking I have like a niche.
Well, I'm seeing your subscriber and followers count grow, which will come, that's a whole nother question.
Yeah.
So yeah, something is working.
Yeah, I think I'm just having fun with it. I don't know. Maybe that's what people should do more often. But I get lost in the music sometimes. Other times it seems like everyone else is having a good time, so it kind of influences my kind of mood. So I don't know. The chat plays a big deal in it, to be honest with you.
Hear that, Pete? The secret is to have fun.
Yeah,
that is true.
Cyndi Lauper.
So kind of going on, Pete, if you want to jump in, feel free.
No, go ahead.
With April just seems like a crazy month for you. Would you agree with the amount of like subscribers and followers? It just seems to take a sharp incline up.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you think have any idea of what caused that, or what kind of like started the snowball effect?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what did it.
Please tell. Share your secret.
One day in particular. Well, with COVID-19 and everything happening, I didn't exactly have a way to make music. So I was like, I'm going to go on Twitch more often because I have the time, I have the availability. Maybe I can connect with people. And it's not like I'm doing anything else in my days. I can't like force a song out. I have to, for me, I can't just pull creativity like that. So I put a lot of my time into Twitch, and I was just doing it consistently, and we had a good core group of people. And then all of a sudden one day, I got raided by Deck Art Games, and it broke my Twitch because we had like 900 people pop in, and like I was like, what is happening? I've never had this happen before. Like I've been raided by like Natalie Holmes raided me, and we had like 100 people in there. And I was like, this is crazy. This is nuts. This is the most people ever watching. And then literally like 2 days later, we had I think 800 people pop in at one time, and I was like, what is happening? But I was just like, hi guys, I make music. Hopefully, like can have a good time. And some of the people there, I think they like the community and they like what they were hearing, and they kind of helped skyrocket what I'm doing now. And now more people are popping in. I think we gained that day like 250, 300 followers. And I was like, wow, that's a lot for a little thing like that. You know what I mean? But as soon as they rated me, the autopilot, like he rated me as soon as they did. So we had an average of like 300 people watching that day. And I was like, what is happening right now?
How did they find you? How or were you guys already kind of connected? By the way, thank you, Dark Gladiator and Jessica Sacco, for becoming fans.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, guys, if you're in the chat and you haven't already.
Oh, Annie, you were on that? Nice.
Yeah, no, Annie was, for sure. Yeah, they blew my mind. But they actually voted on whether or not they were gonna rate a music stream, I think an art stream, or another gaming stream. And they all voted for the music stream. And I think they just maybe found me by random chance.
Wow.
So you didn't know them before? They just
I couldn't even pronounce their name right. It said Deckard. I was like, the chart games. Shit, thank you so much. And they're like, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong, man.
Yeah.
Wow. So was that in early April?
That was like
that first. Okay.
Yeah.
So they kind of stumbled upon you the same way I did. Like I came over from a raid.
Yeah.
And then stayed.
Yeah. If you think about it, like a raid is what I would classify it as like shared influence, right? So like if you're putting your audience in front of someone, so it's the same thing as if an influencer were to go, yo, check out this product. Except what you're doing is you're having like an opening act for a show kind of deal.
Right.
So it was really, really flattering to have both of them pop in there. And I was like, wow, you guys are crazy. And then, you know, some people stuck around a little bit longer. And
what's also interesting is it looks like from the chat we've got I don't know how many people, but a handful of people are commenting that they were there. So if you guys want to sort of chime in on, like, obviously it'd be interesting to hear what you guys thought of that moment. They're like, dude, that was such an amazing moment, and it was obviously pivotal for you, but also for them as well. So if you guys want to sort of like share any sort of like sense of what that felt like. But yeah, it sounds like it was completely unexpected for you.
Yeah, that's an understatement. My computer froze.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It was definitely one of the coolest. I think I talked about it the next week. Just everyone I was on the phone with was like, Dad, you won't believe this. And like they're like, what's a deck art game? And I'm like, well, you don't know the game. And it was great. It was a good time.
So how long were you live streaming? Because where my head goes immediately is you had paid your dues and you had probably gotten to the point where you were good enough that when hundreds of people showed up on your stream, they were like, oh, this is good. So how long had you been doing live streaming? And also how long had you been working specifically on the loop sort of sound, this sort of textured sound that you're really good at? What was going on before that moment that helped to make sure that the music that you were sort of communicating at that moment was what you wanted to share with that crowd at that time?
I think I've been streaming on Twitch for almost a year now.
Okay.
But I didn't do it consistently, if that makes sense. And I didn't lean into the music category. Instead, I was like, I'm gonna play Fortnite with my viewers too. And it turns out like those were my lowest streams. Like people were enjoying the music more. So I was like, okay, you know what? Like I'm gonna lean into it because music fills me up more than a video game does. But it's good to have fun. But like I guess the people enjoy the music more than they do playing a video game. And I understand it. Like that's kind of where I'm at too.
For sure.
And so I would say that the stream probably had the most improvements in April. So that would make sense. Like I bought a mixer and I learned how to connect things and kind of get the compressors a little bit higher. And so quality was coming out pretty decent. It's not where I want it to be, but it's on its way there. It's so hard for me because I'm not like a gear person. I'm more like, you let me play, I'll play good, but I don't know what I'm connecting. So I'm over here like, okay, yeah, that sounds good in my headphones. Hopefully it sounds good to like everyone else. But
so we got a cool comment here that's long, but I'm gonna see if I can read it. It was awesome because I joined like 2 weeks earlier. This is from Alex, and thank you for chiming in, man. That's super cool. It was awesome because I had joined like 2 weeks earlier, and we were just jamming, and then boom, the notification popped up, and I think we were all screaming. It was amazing.
Yeah.
We loved how a lot of people stayed. Right?
Yeah.
Talk about what you just mentioned. Like, so when you're creating and you're in the moment, you know, do you feel like it's something that like, is it difficult to be sort of watching the stream and being present with the people that are commenting and creating at the same time, or was that something that came kind of naturally to you?
I don't know if naturally is the right word.
Yeah.
But I've been working at it. You know, like I said, I play in those bars, and like that's still my regular gig. Because like I put out music online, but streams pay you relatively nothing. So like when I'm putting a song on Spotify, if I'm lucky to get maybe 20,000 streams, that's like what, like $100 maybe. So you're not really making much money on like streaming. But I play these bars that kind of like pay the bills, and it's so much better than having like a desk job or like working somewhere else. Because I get to say I'm still playing music. I'm doing music full time. And if I'm playing a corporate gig or a wedding or things of that nature. But in doing so, before I did Twitch, I would have my laptop or an iPad, and I'd be able to hit the song and just kind of read the lyrics and read the words and play and make a loop. So I kind of practiced before I started streaming. And I got to the point where I could play and I could listen to like the couple in front of me talking while I'm reading and while I'm singing and playing at the same time.
In the bar. You're talking
in the bar, yeah. They won't be talking about me, but they'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe Janet did that. And I'm like in the middle of singing Wonderwall or something, or one of my songs. And I'm like, what did she do? And I keep singing and they're like, what? And I'm like, my bad. So multitasking in that sense just kind of came a lot easier. It's, I guess like mainly muscle memory from doing it so much.
The multitasking in that blows my mind.
Dude, I can't do it anywhere else. That's the only multitasking I can do.
So Emma McGann is someone that we had on the last couple of live streams, and she said something similar. She's like, there's this part of your brain that just sort of clicks, and you can do multiple things at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like a very similar story. Like all of a sudden, it's just like you can monitor this and do that and think about this all at the same time.
Definitely. It's weird. It's definitely weird and probably not normal, but I enjoy it.
Did it take practice or did it just click for you, being able to play, watch the chat, prepare for like the next song you're going to play? Seems like a lot of balls to juggle.
I don't really ever prepare for the next song.
Okay.
I even do that with like big shows. Like I've had a couple big shows and they're like, what's your set list? I'm like, set list? What's the set list? I'm gonna feel it. We're gonna see which direction we should go. Which actually, you said your guitar is signed by Andy Grammer. He does that a lot too. He's like, you know, if we're jamming with the band one time, you know, I might want to go into this song, so we're just gonna hope that the band can keep up. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty sick. Like, I feel like there's an element of surprise with that.
Do you miss or do you like? You know, do you miss that element of playing with other musicians? Because you have the interaction with the audience on a live stream, but for the most part, what you're doing is kind of solo. Do you feel like that works, or do you desire to have some other musicians in there sometimes? So
the reason I bought the loop pedal in the first place, because I consider it a band in the box. It's so much cheaper than having a band. That and it's been very hard for me to find other musicians that I can work with. And we just kind of mesh well. I had one guy, his name's Tommy, and he played bass with me, and we became really, really tight musicians together. Like he played in the pocket, he was so good. But then he ended up moving to Cali. And so like, life kind of gets in the way sometimes. So I found it so much easier to just lean into the loop pedal and play as a solo artist.
Nice.
Loop pedals blow my mind.
Dude, it's cool. I recommend getting one if you don't have one.
Play around with that. So you have on your stream people requesting songs, and then you kind of go through what you're feeling and also the song requests that come in.
Yep.
So you don't prepare for those at all?
No.
Like prior to the stream?
No. My practice is when I'm streaming. So I'm always trying new loops and different things. I have like an idea of what usually works for me. And
Okay.
I run with it. Because loops for me, I break them down really simple. So my pedal board, I do like a rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, and then a drum. So like there's 3 different settings and things I can start and stop at any time. So as long as I can get the rhythm and the lead guitar down, any percussion could just be me beatboxing, or as you see, I use a salt shaker a lot for like a shaker. But I like the percussive elements, and you can kind of keep the loops not exactly the same, but you can mess with them a little bit so they all sound unique.
Can I ask a nerdy musical question? Do you find yourself gravitating towards similar keys or similar things with your instruments, so that when you're creating or you're improvising or you're doing these 19 things at the same time, you're not moving into like, okay, this one's going to be in F sharp minor and this one's going to be in B flat major? Like, do you kind of simplify some of what you're doing musically at all?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I try to make it up at the back end. So like when I am looping, I try to have like a cool percussive loop if I'm going to use like the same key all the time. Or like I have a bass pedal, I have a delay pedal. So I try to like mask the fact that I'm using simpler chords. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Because it's still like an entertaining aspect. If it sounds nice to your ears, that should be all that matters, right? So I'm always in the key of like either D or G. D and G.
You're not playing open tuning though. You're playing regular tuning.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. It's fun. I trained in piano a long time ago, but I don't remember. I didn't retain any.
Ella, sorry.
Hi, Ella.
And what's up, Melissa?
Hey, it's Alyssa. What's going on?
How are you?
But yeah, it's cool. It's cool, man. I really enjoyed it.
Do you know an artist named James Vincent McMorrow?
I do. I know of him.
He's a good example to me of someone who does what you described really well, like you do. Like, it's not easy to write a song and just have it sound really good and have the melody work, so I mean, particularly, I feel like, I haven't listened to every single song you've ever put out because I didn't have time to prepare as much as I would have liked to.
Mm-hmm.
But I listened to probably half a dozen songs of yours over the course of what you've put out.
Sure.
And your most recent song, which is Caught Her Dancing.
Yeah.
Right. Is a great example of that. I mean, it's so elegant. It's almost meditative. There's this sort of meditative feel to a lot of your music to me because it has this sort of life of its own, and maybe that's how you create them. But it's harder to do than it sounds. And
Yeah.
I think you do that remarkably well. So like, is that just something that's always been a part of your sound, that you approach the music that way, or is that just sort of my impression of how you do it?
Honestly, I think if we just leave it a mystery, it'll be preserved so much better.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciate your impression of it. That's really cool to hear it that way. I try not to think too much. I just kind of let them, as you said, take their lives of their own, and it's cool. It's cool to see each song shape itself. But I do strive to make everything sound a little bit different, because I would hate for you to listen. I use this reference a lot. Don't get me wrong. Drake is one of the biggest artists in the world, but he had a couple albums where it just sounded like the same song over and over. And I know I'm not a big enough Drake fan to understand that, like, there probably are different elements in different songs. But when I heard One Dance, and I heard other like I was like, man, my ears want something different, and I love old Drake. And I'm like, throw it back, man, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I always try to like just keep it a little bit different. So it's like something new for you.
Are you itching to get back on the road?
Yeah, more than anything. But I'm worried though, because like I've been so consistent with streaming.
Yeah.
Where it's like I know the key is consistency, but how can I do it if I were to travel?
You can do it from the back of the bus. Emma McGann had a very
Back of the bus. You think I can afford a bus?
But you know what I mean. Like you can do
Yeah.
it from anywhere. You could do stuff like on your way to the gig. You could absolutely do that. Have you done that before? Have you tried stuff like that where it's just like kind of while you're on the road?
No, the hardest part for me would be the sense of quality. Because I know as you can see here, obviously my microphone isn't working. Someone said that it's going through my computer instead. But I figured out how to get like such a nice background and have all my instruments and my mixer. And like I can dumb it down, but it'd be tough.
You're not convinced it's gonna be the same.
It won't.
Same thing. Yeah.
No, but I still think I could do it. It would just be different.
Yep.
Yeah. There'd be a lot of faith on it going smoothly and not knowing what's doing what. Yeah. So I don't know. If I can figure out how to do exactly what you're saying, like take it on the road, that would be great. Like I've considered van life before, and if I could do streaming in van life, that'd be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, because then imagine if you pull up to like some really pretty place and there's like a nice waterfall behind you, and you want to show that off while you're streaming. That'd be epic. You know what I mean?
You need a hotspot with it.
Is van live a thing? I don't know what van live is.
Van life.
Life.
Oh,
like
van life.
Yeah, living in a van.
I wasn't sure if that was like a thing.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I know, Annie, right? I'm telling you, there'd be something. There's something to be said about having really cool backgrounds that are ever changing.
All you would really need at the core is good Wi-Fi, a good signal.
That's the hardest thing to do.
It's hard enough out of the home, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Definitely.
So you had a lot of people kind of come and find your stream, and they also stick around post. They become fans and keep showing up. And I've noticed they kind of have their inside jokes. You have your special commands that like change the light in your bookshelf.
Yeah.
Dad jokes is a running thing. Can you explain how this kind of engagement kind of came about?
Honestly, I think it's the same as any inside joke with your friends. You just start to make a joke about it and a meme about it, and then someone's like, you know what? This needs to be.
Serena brought up the sandwiches.
Yeah, I know they're all talking about the sandwich right now. That literally was super simple. I was like, you know what, guys, I'm hungry. I'm gonna make a sandwich. Do you want anything? You know, and like to me, it's different to make a. You guys don't stop talking about the sandwich. I swear to God. It's different to be like, yo, I'm gonna eat on stream, and so it was kind of like a different day for me. But I was making a joke like, yo, I'll make you one. And I came back and I only had one sandwich, and they're like, they don't let me live it down. They're like, you didn't make us. How dare you not make us a sandwich? And I was like, that's funny. But then they kept it going. And they're like, we're betrayed by you not making a sandwich. And I was like, damn. So I think there was one day I ordered a Wawa sandwich. And I was like, do you guys want anything? You know what? We'll make up for it. And we ordered a sandwich. And I sat it right here on the piano the entire stream. It was great. It was a good time. Yeah. So now it's just a command that we have.
Can you talk about also how you kind of turn those inside jokes into perks? Because I'm assuming Kermit started as a joke, but now if you spend bits, which on Twitch is kind of like tips at a bar, you get to unlock this perk.
Yeah, channel points, they're more like rewards for watching the stream for so long. So it's like the more engaged you are, the more you stick around for certain amounts of time or share the stream. I don't know how it works exactly. All I know is that you can redeem them. And,
Kermit.
Yeah, so I was watching a few other streams and they had some funny ones like, every time you redeem this one, I'll take a drink of water. Every time you redeem this one, I'll burp. And every time you do this one. And I was like, that's so funny, but like people will feel super engaged to the community if they can hit that button, and all of a sudden the person behind the camera can do that. This is Hadley, by the way.
Hello, Hadley.
What's up?
and so I was just
Had.
listening around. I put one that said "Saw Dude." Every time I redeem it, I'll be like "Saw Dude," and like sometimes they redeem it in the middle of the song. Other times, what do I have right now? The Kermit one. It's funny you bring that up. That was like a recent thing. I did a funny Kermit the Frog voice, and like I'm not good at impressions at all, not at all. Like I am not that guy, but I thought it was kind of funny, and they thought it was funny.
I think we're getting some requests for Dance Monkey.
We can't do Dance Monkey here. Not here, guys. All right.
Not here.
But it became me singing whatever song popped up next in the song list as Kermit the Frog. And I didn't think it was going to hurt that bad, but it destroyed my voice. Like, it's painful. But then I put Dance Monkey at, like, I think 40,000 points or something. And I'll dance for a minute straight to Funky Town.
Oh, to Funky Town specifically.
Yeah, I haven't changed the song yet. It's only been Funky Town.
Any
That's
takers?
really cool.
And you take, they don't got 40,000 points in here.
They're saving up though. They're like, dude, I gotta get this done.
So many of them have been saving up. It's ridiculous. And then Carrie, CG, good point. All of the song requests and stuff. I watched a bunch of different streamers, and they all have this ability to have the requests up here. And I was like, how are you doing that? What's going on? And I asked a bunch of questions in different streams. Turns out there's one site that you can just take it and apply it to your OBS.
Oh, okay. Pro
Super
tip right there.
So
Yeah.
does that mean that the music, what exactly did you just describe? What is it inside of OBS what does it do?
So it's an entire kind of site that is, I believe there's a couple people made, where you set up all of the songs that you know how to play. And then there's a bot that pops into your chat. So whenever someone requests it, it puts it in a queue. And you can take, it's like a browser source. I'm gonna get really nerdy. A browser source, you take it and you can throw it into OBS and you can adjust it and make it look however you want it to look. And then you can put it in whatever corner of the screen. So it kind of shows what's next.
So how do people know what songs they can pick from? How do they actually pick the song?
So there's, speaking on the bot, there's a command called !SL, and that's for the song list. And it pops up a link, and you can click on it, and you can look at all the songs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you basically tell your community, hey, yo, if you guys want to request a song, just do !SL, and everybody just kind of learns to use that. Got it.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty common with all of the Twitch music community. Like pretty much every streamer that does music does it. And I was like, wow, I had no idea this was a thing. And I went down a huge rabbit hole of like
trying to figure it out
how to do everything. Yeah, lately my mission's been to learn Discord a little bit better, because I think Discord is the best thing ever. And I'm so dumb for not using this sooner. Like,
getting a lot of pro tips here.
Yeah, no, if you're gonna build a community at all, Discord is everything. Just even 21 Pilots have a Discord, John Bellion has a Discord, Billie Eilish has a Discord. Like, but they don't broadcast it. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this is all news to me.
Yeah, this is like, they have 21 Pilots has 30,000 people in their Discord channel.
Wow.
We're getting a lot of comments about your mashups. Talk about those. How do you do those, and why are people loving on those so much?
I don't know. Just I get bored in the middle of the song, and I can feel that it'll be kind of similar.
And you'll be like, boom, you just go to another one.
Yeah, because I think it's more fun when you kind of throw something like that at the fly. I've been doing that for years, man.
Yep.
I did that on You Now a long time ago. When I used to stream on here, I used to have the chat comment different songs, and I just try to throw them all together.
Was You Now sort of your first sort of toe in the pool for streaming? Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to stream on here all the time, and we were averaging like a good amount of viewers, and I became a partner on You Now, and like it was wild. It was a good time. but I fell out of it. I feel like you now is like and no shade to anybody else who uses this platform, but it was great. It was a great start.
Yep.
At streaming, like to dip my toes in the water. You know what I mean? Like you were saying. I feel like it's perfect for that because you can get like an instant kind of stream going. Where Twitch is a little bit harder because I had to learn OBS. I had to learn all these commands and learn these bots, and I was like, oh man, this is so stressful. There's such a learning curve.
Tori, don't listen to that part. Don't listen to that. It's super easy, I'm sure. No, actually, I wanted to unpack a little bit of that too. So, like, what are some, on the sort of tech side, that no one really wants to talk about? What are some like key things that newer live streamers would want to like own first? Is it what are some basic sort of functions or things that you want to figure out how to do when you're getting into the live streaming thing?
Yeah. Well, I think what I did wrong was made a Discord channel and then didn't set it up correctly before I started getting people in it.
What do you mean set it up correctly?
That's my point. So everything's kind of relative, subjective to whoever you are and what you want. But I watched a video and there's roles and different integrations that you can do.
Oh, okay.
It kind of it makes it a little bit more homey, and like different people get different kind of labels is like a harsh term. But for instance, if someone subscribed to my Patreon, they immediately get a role in my Discord server as like the label executive. And if you're subscribed to my Twitch, you get like the role of roadie. And then if you just join the Discord server, you're in the Walden group. So like it's different kind of names for different people. So you're like, oh, so-and-so's part of the Patreon. That's sick. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But I didn't set that up initially. So I had to go through and individually add each person. And we had like 130 people in there. So I was like, I wish I had done this early.
Can you go back and adjust that later, or no? You have to sort of just do
it
it manually?
You have to do it one person at a time manually. So, but
still?
No.
Oh.
Now you have it set up to where it's like, it's automatic, or it just automatically does it.
Okay. So Discord, set up Discord correctly. What else?
Cool videos to watch on it.
Okay.
I don't know. Everyone always says like having a comfy background for like a stream is
have
nice.
a what?
Like a comfy background with good lighting.
Comfy background.
Yeah, something that's like it's nice to come back to. A good example of this is not even a live streamer, but if you've ever watched Casey Neistat on YouTube,
okay,
his biggest thing was his studio. He would always take his YouTube audience back to his studio, and it was kind of like the Friends set when you're watching Friends, the TV show. They would always go to Central Perk, and so people know what's going to happen when they're in that spot. They're all going to dish gossip, or he's going to talk about something, but it's familiar to the viewer each time. So that consistency goes a long way with like seeing something too.
That's a good idea.
I have something that, again, this whole world is super new to me, and just to give a little bit of context, like the reason why I love being able to have these conversations with you guys is that in the last 5 or 6 weeks, I just dove into this like 1,000%, and I'm taking in a lot of information and a lot of impressions at the same time, and I love learning new stuff.
Sure.
And so like that said, I'm sort of like an outsider. I'm like the new guy at the party, but I super love being here. And like when I try and spend a little bit of time each day watching live streaming and sort of like taking it in, something that occurred to me in the last maybe 48 hours is what you just talked about, that like when you go to a live stream, you're not going to like a concert and then you go home. It's like a comfy place that you go back to again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And you go back maybe a handful of times a week or more, and it's a space, and you know the people there, and you know the vibe, and you know the artist, and it's a place you go to. It's not a performance you attend. That's just the vibe that I got. And when you were talking about that, it feels like that much more than anything else musically that I've ever experienced.
Definitely, 100%. And it's cool because like you're not just growing your music, for instance. It's not like a one-way street. Like you're not just something. It's very much you're building a community together. Yeah. And I heard someone had it in their description the other day on Twitch, but they said your vibe attracts your tribe. And I thought that was like super goofy, but I was like, it's kind of true. Like it's whatever you put out there, you're gonna start to attract that. So if you're being an F-boy on You now a long time ago, and people are popping in expecting that kind of content, that's what you're gonna get out of it, Yeah. Shout out to old Matt.
Talk about the video game piece, because I think it's related to what you just said. So it's interesting. Like when I was watching Emma, and I was trying to sort of take in what she does, and I'm like, I can get the music part, but when I see her on like a live
Animal
stream playing a
Crossing
video game, and I'm like, there's so much about this that I don't understand. I don't understand how someone can be entertaining and play a video game at the same time. I can't understand how people. I just don't. No, I mean, I like it's a skill that I can't. It blows my mind. That she's able to do that.
Okay,
and
that's
so, and then you commented like, it's not. I tried it. I can do it, but I'm more of like, I lean into the music. That's my vibe. That's sort of like.
It's more. That's what I know I'm good at. Like I know I have pros. I know I have like things that I'm good at, and I have my weaknesses, and I don't think that I'm that entertaining video game wise. However, I've had a request lately to play both Animal Crossing and Detroit Become Human, and so like I'm always down to try something. You know what I mean? And if people like it, hey, I mean, keep it up. But maybe I'll keep certain days like a schedule. Like, today is going to be an Animal Crossing day, or what day is going to be a music day. That way you can come back to it.
Consistency.
Yeah, no, and then I've never been a schedule guy.
You've never been a what?
A schedule guy. I've never been one that's like, like this day's this day's this. You can ask anybody who's been following me for a long time. Like the only thing this year has been I love it. This year has been straight consistency. I've been aiming to put out like one song a month for the entire year. And so far I'm at 4. And like I put it out every last Friday. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I bit off a little bit of the consistency thing because I've never been good at it. I'm super inconsistent with things. And then streaming lately, I've been doing every day except Wednesday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's posting that out there and explaining what days are going to be what. Like, I had no idea how important that was. But it's like, it's cool because people look forward to it. I think. I don't know. I haven't really got much feedback on it, but it feels like the schedule's helping.
I love the comments, Annie and Alexa. I really appreciate it because I think it helps for people that are new to this, but also it speaks to what you guys sort of have. I don't know another word for it. I think it's really special that it's just a space that you guys have worked on together. It feels a little weird talking about it sometimes because it's like talking about something that's really sort of magical and awesome. And then you're trying to sort of unpack it and dissect it. And it's not really where I want to go. Yeah. But it's just one of those things that I think, when artists are looking at this, I think there's a danger there that they see it as either, well, I need to start doing that, or, okay, I can just perform and that'll be great and it'll be pretty easy. They're not understanding that there's like these layers to it that make it great and that make a really good live stream sort of feel good and be good. And so I just think it's cool to be able to try and illuminate like what is it about this that makes it awesome, so that people that are doing it are doing it in a way that it's good for the audience and it's good for them. And I just think it's easy to overlook all these sort of nuances that are making these live streams so good.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the only thing I can really say that it's the people. I can't really take much credit, because I'm kind of there, but I see how much they interact with each other and they're all very like-minded and they have a good time. So they're doing the majority of the work. I'm just kind of hanging out, which is weird because I feel like our roles are flipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love it, and it's cool because like it's the first time where even if I am background music for that minute or hour if they're working or whatever, I'm okay with it because I know that they chose to be there. They want to be there, which is so much different than if someone was lurking and had no clue or didn't care at all. So I call them the Walden crew because like without your crew you can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You need a crew to help things happen. So they are my crew.
The community aspect is definitely there. It's like when I plop on, I could be an hour late,
Yeah.
but you'll notice, you'll say hi, Tori, and then like 10 people in the chat will also say hi, Tori. So it's cool because
Yeah.
I'm not only receive a shout out from the streamer, but also from the viewers.
That's just so nice.
Yeah. And when I leave, it's the same thing. It's like you'll say bye, and then 10 other people will say bye, and it really feels like we're all together, you know, in a living room watching a performance and with friends, and not just random people on Twitch.
I love it because random people will pop in, people who aren't used to the stream, and could be like, "Yo, like, this is really cool." And then so many people will just say hi and how are you? Welcome to the stream. What's going on? And this person will be like, "I've never been in a stream that's been this wholesome and nice." You know what I mean? Like people are just inviting me to talk, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's sick. That's what we want here." Because I've been in so many streams that I feel uncomfortable if I were to say anything. Like I will watch a stream and I'll be like, I really want to say something or ask a question, but I don't know where to start. And it's not like maybe the model say hi to me, but we have like the actual people in the stream saying hi. That's like a whole new level.
Yeah.
Cool. It's really cool.
So people watching the stream, please say hi, say who you are, where you're from, how you stumbled upon this channel or Matt.
Beautiful.
And thanks for joining us.
I use my gift.
Yeah.
I should have used it on you guys.
And any like Tori said, any questions you guys have or anything that maybe that we're not aware of that would be cool to talk about, even just topics or things that you love about what Matt's doing or that you think is cool about, you know, what's going on with the community that you want to mention is great.
I got a question to jump in there while they type.
Go for it.
So you have a lot of different channels. You have merch, your Patreon, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. How do you balance those? How do you know which content goes where? Do they organically grow? Do you shout out like your Patreon and your stream? How do you balance all of these different channels to kind of create at the base avenues for revenue?
Yeah.
To support yourself as a musician?
That is a great question.
Loaded question.
Yeah, very loaded. It's probably the hardest part because like there will be times where I'll look at dates and I'll see like I haven't posted a YouTube video in 3 weeks, like that. I'm severely slacking in that regard. And this is where I feel like a day-to-day manager could really help kind of like allocate some time to your life and be like, yo, this is what I need you to work on right now. But you know, doing it yourself, I really kind of look at what's working. Lately, Twitch has been, you know, the most rewarding, not financially, but just for my soul. And that's where I put a lot of my time, is what makes me happiest. Oh, Cozy. Oh, from Finland, what's up? Actually, I think I just sent out your Patreon letter yesterday. But yeah, it's really hard to balance them all. Because I feel like if I, you know, instead of doing 500 things at one time, if you were to do one really well, you know, wouldn't you think that would kind of help branch out some of the other things? And so there are times where I wish I could take on another person to help me with certain things. I my Patreon's getting to the point now where I'm like, ooh, like this is like, don't get me wrong, there's only like what 24 people that are on Patreon, and you would think that's not a lot, but I have to. I'm sending out all these Polaroids now, and which is the coolest thing ever that people are down for a Polaroid. One of my tiers is to take one of these Polaroids that we run out and take all over town or wherever we're doing. Like when I was on tour, I sent out tour Polaroids. When I was in New York, I just sent out random New York Polaroids. But it's kind of just little moments that I'm experiencing. I'm like, here, you guys, like, share it with you.
What's up, Lucy?
But I'm trying to make it special. I really want more effort to go into everything. And I just bought like wax seals and things to make the letter look a lot more like fancy when you get it, which it's not a lot of money for a wax seal, but it looks so sick to have it. But then I'll know I need to be like writing a song and I slack, and instead I'll go put my time into something else. Or like sometimes I won't spend a lot of time on Twitter like I wish I would, just to engage with people and say hi, and I'll put my time in something else. Like I was saying, it's really there's no easy answer. I'm just like constantly bouncing back and forth going, I haven't done this in a minute. I need to do this now. Instead of being like, oh, I'm just gonna go on Twitter.
It
But
sounds
Twitch
like it's
seems
kind.
to be-
It sounds like it's kind of part of the nature of what you do, that it becomes this sort of 10-headed hydra that you have to sort of balance. There's no way to just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna write the album this month. You can't do that, right?
No, that's not who I am. I can't sit there and do something like that. I like doing a lot, but there are times it gets stressful.
That could be a good segue to talk about your current project. You released a new single, Caught Her Dancing, and you're working on releasing a new song every month?
Yeah, at the end of every month on the last Friday.
Has that been successful so far?
Honestly, yeah. And I didn't expect it, you know, because what I've learned while I've been putting music out is that I'm very singles driven. Like I said, I'm not good at making a collective album. Because I feel like that usually has undertones of everything kind of being relatively similar in theme. And I've never had the attention span to do that. And so I have been very much leaning hard into like whatever influences I'm feeling, and I'll write something kind of based on what I felt in that moment. And so putting out these singles, I think I can tell you right now, I started putting out singles in October, which I wish I hadn't, but I'm glad I did. Mainly because I would have loved to take those 2 songs and put them out this year instead. Timing's everything. I think From Uni's Not For Me, which is the first one, I did October, then December, and then these past 4 months. So 6 songs, a little over 225,000 streams just on those 6 songs, which is like really cool to see on Spotify alone. I was like, wow, that's kind of nuts, because none of that is from like a marketing campaign. None of that is from, I haven't put any money into it. It's all just been people sharing it in Spotify algorithm and things of that nature.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I wake up and I'll be like, oh, we're up in listens right now. What happened? Like,
so was there a relationship there between the Spotify that was happening and the live streaming? Is there some sort of like,
well,
who knows?
You know, my dad said that. He was like, you know, since you started live streaming, your Spotify's kind of gone up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so it's very possible, you know, because they
vice
have
versa.
Spotify's not really a site where you pull an audience unless they're so devoted to like a song. Then they'll find you. I feel like your first instinct is like, oh, Instagram. You know what I mean? But like lately, I've been doing Twitch, and I have so many people who are like, "What's Twitch?"
So, question: when people find you, let's say they find you on Twitch. I'm someone that didn't know about you yesterday, and now I do. What's the most common door in? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitch itself? How are people finding you?
I probably I meet more people. I say meet, but Twitch is the way that I'm having more unique visitors constantly visiting me. Because I think every stream is like 290 to 500 people that are like maybe popping in and leaving, but regardless, they're just connected. You know what I mean? And that's so much better than me sitting here and not doing anything. So like I could post on Instagram, but the chances of me getting in front of a new audience is going to be relatively slim because I'm not on the explore page. I don't have a niche. Like, I'm not posting the same kind of content all the time. So I'm hoping that someone might find it. Whereas like Twitter, your only chance there to really meet new people is if someone shares your tweet and they really like your content. But Twitch is just so easy for people to pop in and go, yeah, it's pretty cool. Follow. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're gonna.
How do you make it easier for them to find you on Twitch? Are there things that you do say, oh, I can do this or that will attract tribe-friendly people to my Twitch stream?
I mean, I'll tweet the link sometimes. I think Twitch does a really good job at recommending channels.
Okay.
So they're very, very like, if you already have a few people watching, they'll go to someone who has never seen your channel before oh, we noticed that you like these kind of channels. Here, check out this one.
Oh, okay. So they have a pretty good algorithm, or they have a good suggestion sort of feature
I
that
found
leads
so
people.
many. Yeah, so many
Cool.
channels that I follow now. And I'm like, yeah,
Cool.
it's sick. And they don't usually have a ton of viewers either. So I'm like, you guys are really helping out like the underdog, you know?
It's interesting you say that too, because, and this is a little bit nerdy in a way, but like we have Sherry Hugh coming on Friday, who's like a journalist and a thought leader in live streaming and digital technology. And she made a comment a couple of weeks ago in an interview that I had with her about the fact that like in live streaming, search is not very good. In other words, if I say, oh, I want to listen to some metal today, metal maybe isn't a great example because metal is over indexes in this environment, but like per genre or per style or per descriptor, you can't really find something the way you can in maybe a Spotify search or something like that. And so what she mentioned was, like you said about the raids, like people will just find you because someone who likes your music or appreciates what you're doing or is just intrigued by what you're doing during your stream brings a bunch of people on. But what you just said, I didn't actually realize that Twitch has, I'm sure they have a way that suggests things to people, but what you're saying is it really works really well. And people that would like my music end up in my space and vice versa. I get turned on to stuff. So the intrinsic sort of suggestion mechanism in Twitch is something that you think works really well.
Yeah, I also think that people don't know that you can search things like metal on Twitch. Like there are tags and things of that nature that you can have in there. I personally have never done it before because I don't really think of live streaming like a music service. You know what I mean? I'm not going there to find metal. I think I'm going there for entertainment more than anything. But some people might go in there and be like, you know what, I really want to listen to alternative music today. And so I'm sure that they have, I definitely have to tag. Every time I go live, there's tags that I have to add in order for people, like, I guess it helps with like discovery.
What are some tags that you found that work? What are some tags that you found that work better, or ways of thinking about tags that work better for people that are listening? Just try stuff out. I
don't tag anything. I don't. I generally just keep like the basic music tags. I just noticed that there's some other musicians that will like change it. They'll add like a pop music one. They'll add an alternative music one, and they'll throw a bunch of tags in there. I haven't done it. Maybe I'm lacking in that regard, but I don't know. I've never been a fan of tags, but maybe that's just down with me too. Not you.
You've been on Twitch for a year, you said.
Just about, yeah.
It seems like you've accomplished a lot in a year, and I don't mean that in just sort of like a material sense or like you've done a good job or you've checked a bunch of boxes off. Like you've created something that's really genuine and natural to you, and you've been able to find people who like it and create a space in a year. Like a year is not a whole lot of time to be able to like have a pretty loyal, real following of people that can find you 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's just great, but I also feel like it's probably harder than it sounds. Are there things that you might throw out for people that are trying to do that as suggestions?
You got me. I think the best thing I did was just kind of jump into it. Yeah. And but that's the way I learned. I even wrote about it in my song "Uni's Not For Me." It's like I'm not good at someone teaching me how to do something. I'm good at falling into it and failing until I succeed. So like experience is my best friend. So I started and I was like, yo, this is great. I love it. I'm gonna do great. And it sucked really. Like if you go back and watch, I don't think the VODs are still on there. You can't even see the old streams, but it was really bad. And the quality.
So suck for a while. Just be bad for a while and figure out and get your sea legs.
Yeah, but like you have to want to get better. And so like I never had this camera set up right here. I bought an SL2 because I was gonna start vlogging. And like this is like one of the cheapest Canon cameras out there. And I was like, it'd be cool if I could use it as like a webcam. And then one day I found out that you can. And I went down the rabbit hole figuring out how to connect it, what I needed. A lot of the times you don't need the best equipment to have the best kind of content. You know?
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing. Hi, Nishafi, how are you?
Yes, Lucy, this is an interview.
Yeah, sorry. Lucy's like, sing a song right now.
Yeah, like I came here for music. What is this? Yeah.
Get it. Yeah. So
We should probably that's again, it's I agree with that, and I think we sort of, you know, in a way we've done, I think we've tried to do just that. We're just like I think I sort of appreciate the space, and I love what it's about, and I just feel like we should just start making some stuff and figure out what our voice is and how we can contribute and just kind of get in there and get our hands dirty.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people get super hesitant on starting something because they're in their head. They're like, well, I don't have that kind of quality, or I don't have that kind of personality. The thing is, you do have something, and that's being you. So just try it and keep trying it, and then learn as you go. You know, because then you at least can say, like, I did this today, versus saying, I wish I did that. At least that's my mentality on it. Is like, if I'm like, all right, I want to try and make something today, I'm just going to do it. If I fail, I failed. I tried.
You can add a motivational speaker now to your resume.
Just do it.
Which is essentially, Pete, what you and I kind of did. We're like, oh.
This is 4 weeks old. We don't know what we're doing. That's our secret.
It's a newborn.
We're like, oh,
way newborn
type interview with streamers and musicians would be cool. Let's just do it.
We should just do it tomorrow. Like literally, that was how it felt.
I think if you guys got Twitch down, there's a huge space for that right now. They're doing a lot of like podcasting and a lot of not just that, but interview style things. I think there's a lot of potential to have. If you think about it, we're all kind of living iCarly. If you know what that TV show is. They had a live web show. You know what I mean? So we're kind of doing that.
For sure. I wanted to ask a question. So I was watching one of your live streams from a couple of days ago, and it was really rad because you were like, oh, when I hit X amount of subscribers or something, viewers, I'm gonna get my brother on here to play with me. And then you were like, yo, mom, and you call up your mom on the phone, and then like we see, you know, your mom's on the phone, and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to my brother, and then your brother's on the phone, and he's like, I don't know, in his bed or whatever. And he's like, what? And you're like, yo, you gotta come play with me sometime soon. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is like, there's no boundaries. We're like right up there in your life.
Yeah.
My question for you is, that's awesome. And, you know, do you feel like there's a healthy boundary, if that's the right word, for like, how do you sort of balance like, okay, but Matt's got his own life too that happens independent of the live stream that needs to be sort of, right, protected. How do you figure that part out?
To be honest with you, man, I've just kind of embraced being an open book.
Okay.
You know, I don't really have anything to hide other than like my social security number and my credit card information. But like, we just try to live our lives to where, you know, you can kind of be a good example and be positive. And if that's who I am day to day, I might as well be it online too. And if I'm going to share every aspect, that doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt my family. As long as no one's like trying to, you know, stalk us or meet our family or anything, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, as long as you're nice, I don't care. I'm all about it. We're all friends here. So like there hasn't been any weird instance yet. So I say that very, very like on the cusp of, you know, there could be something weird later, but I don't know.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that avoids something weird. It could also just be something that you feel like, for your own healthiness, you know, there's things where you're like, you know, hey, this, like the thing that comes to mind is just kind of a random example. Is like Gary V, who's a big name in social media and has a lot of followers and a lot of love and a lot of great stuff. He's very careful about, you know, I don't want my wife or my kids like part of my celebrity. And so I think he decides like, I want my family life to be my family life, pure and simple. And then I want to be like celebrity guy when I walk out of the door and have sort of the best of both worlds.
That's
so
cool.
I think it's just a matter of like, maybe just, it's like you were saying in the beginning about being intentional.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be intentional about what I'm doing on social media. I want to be intentional about the energy I'm bringing, why I'm doing this. Cool. Is there maybe an intentionality to, because like you said, I mean, a lot of people know, you know, you're revealing a lot of stuff about yourself, and there might be things that you think, you know, I want to keep these things mine. I don't know.
I don't know if I've hit that point where like it's been very easy for me to just kind of be myself on just online as a whole and not have to really hold anything back yet, because Abby and I've been together for a long time, and she's kind of been in this world with me for a little while. And my friends who come in, they understand, and they're kind of all about it too. But I think it'd be fun if we're all kind of on a similar level, as long as they're comfortable. If no one's ever comfortable with it, then I make sure that that's expressed and you're not in this space. But for me, I'm like, I'm cool with it. I don't really have any issue kind of explaining things unless it's been brought to my attention that I should, you know? So
that makes sense.
Being intentional though, maybe later down the road, there will be things that I might want to keep to myself a little bit more, but I haven't had the need to. Besides, like I said, my security number. That's mine.
By the
You
way,
guys can't have it.
That kind of goes with too, just building the community, because you hop in the stream and we know you, we see your cat walk by and we're like, oh, Piper, you know who Hadley is. It's very much like going to just like a living room performance with a bunch of friends.
Exactly.
Yep. It's a cool community.
Another thing that I noticed, and again, this is going to make me feel like I'm sort of an outsider looking in, because I am. I'm just getting used to the community. But something that I really liked was in my first few live streams, like, you know, it's sort of like going to a different country and you're like, okay, there's a lot here that I don't know. Stuff that it's invisible to me that I don't actually know. And I would notice the people that were like a part of a live stream kind of self-regulating what was going on. If someone was like, hey, visit my stream, blah, 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 they were like, yo, man, like no promo here. Like there's this kind of, you know, like everyone kind of is on the same page in a lot of different ways. So it keeps it not weird is where I'm going with it. It's sort of, it's almost like what you were saying about the tribe. There's an energy to the room, and people that are not on that wavelength kind of bounce out pretty fast. That's what I felt. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And if not, I just meme them even harder than they try to meme me. Like if you obviously you'll get those trolls sometimes, but like if they say something weird and you just make it even weirder, sometimes they get uncomfortable and don't want to come back.
Oh, I love it.
That's the fun part. But yeah, 100%. Like they definitely understand what's going on.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
You guys have any, you know, I feel like you guys that have been listening very intently have been listening very intently. Do you guys have any questions or anything else that you'd like
I just
to
let
touch
them
on?
know we're at our last 10 minutes if anyone has any last questions. I saw Nuggets dropped in.
Nuggets is here.
To the stream. Nuggets gifted me a sub. Nuggets gifted Pete a sub.
Oh, Pete got a sub too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to Nuggets. Nuggets are queen.
Queen.
How do I check how many bars I got? Yo, I got 2,300 bars. Do you guys get paid whenever you get like likes and stuff on here?
I don't think we're at that level yet.
We're not at that level.
Got you.
We're 4 weeks old, man. We're like not even toddlers.
How do I have 2,000 bars though? That's my question. Let's see if I can just give you all of them.
Matt, feel free, tell us. Oh, look, 2,000 likes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude.
They just sit in here. I think I've never had to buy them.
Wow, Matt, you're our #1 fan.
What can I say? Right?
But we're fans of you.
That's awesome. I know Emma actually used to.
Thank you.
So what would you like to be sort of like, I don't know, over the next like few months? Are you going to be putting out your single once a month? Are there things would you like to be back on the road summertime? God willing?
If things get better, I would totally like to be out on the road. A lot of people have been saying that they're from the UK, so that might be another trip. I just got my passport. I'd have to get a work visa, so that might be a new donation goal if we can get it. But
yeah.
But I think it'd be really cool to be able to travel a little bit more.
Where do
life.
you have fans? Do you know where you're, like, geographically? Do you have certain areas of the country or areas of the world that you'd like to be able to play live for some people that follow you?
It's a great question. So I did this thing called More White Claws. No. We just recently started drinking on stream. I don't know if it's a great idea. There has been, last summer I did a tour from my van. I called it the van tour, where pretty much I put up a poll asking anybody who lives around the eastern United States if they want me to come play in their house. I will just show up to your home. You bring all the friends. You bring whoever else you want to play. I will just play a concert right there for you.
Living room series.
Kind of, yeah. And there was like sometimes we'd have 5 people at one show, and sometimes we had like 100 people in someone's backyard, and like it was insane. But I feel like it's very similar to Twitch, where the reward is the same. You're playing this intimate show, and you're hanging with these people, and you're connecting with them in a way that a large venue, there's kind of a disassociation with the artist, where you're just there for the music. You know, like now when I see artists play, I'm always like, they didn't talk to the crowd enough. That's weird, because you go there for a concert, you go there for the music, and like they played all their songs, and I was like, I just wish you would have said some stuff. But that I guess maybe I'm the weird one for thinking that. I don't know.
That's the streamer part of you.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like you could get those people in the crowd to be even more excited to be there, though. Does that make sense? Like just connecting with them with one little thing, like, damn, it's hot outside. How y'all doing right now? Like that right there, everyone would be like, yeah, it is hot outside. Yeah, like sick. This guy's awesome. Like you never know. That's
you're getting some requests for more of the van tour moments for sure.
You want me to do another one from Florida to Cali? Oh, yo, actually, I am very much trying to go over to California. I'm thinking about renting a place in LA. I just don't have any connections or know why I would even go out there. You know?
Well, now you have 2.
Now you have 2.
Wait, are you guys in LA?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. All right, yo, bet.
Look how that happened.
I want to play a show out there so badly.
Do you want to play like a venue thing, or do you want to do more like the bedroom, or not the bedroom, but like sort of like the living room tour?
I could probably sell some tickets. I have a decent following. One of my biggest following, I think, is like Chicago, New York, and LA. So like I could totally sell a good amount of tickets through my Spotify and stuff, which would be awesome.
Tori, what do you think? Hotel Cafe?
Yeah, I was about to say Pete and I both probably have a handful of
No
venues.
way.
Hotel Cafe would definitely be a good venue for him.
Have you heard of
Are you
Hotel
joking?
Cafe?
I have heard of it, but I've never looked it up. But I'm gonna do that right now.
I think, I mean, that's the venue that my mind goes to, because Hotel Cafe is like a singer-songwriter spot, and the times that I've been there, it's like people really shut up and listen, and they're music people, yeah. And
I was going to say
and it's small. It probably holds 100 people, packed.
That we could get like a cool lineup, bring other artists in. That'd be fantastic.
I was going to say they have a good community there too who go. I have a few friends that do series too with their friends.
Yep.
Wow.
So a bunch of like.
No, that would be amazing.
All right, let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen, man.
Yeah, no, I would love that. I found an Airbnb. It's like less than $1,000 for the entire month in LA. And I was like,
wow,
might be the move.
Well, totally let us help. I mean, you know, whatever we can, you know, like I you know, we're super appreciative of your time, because I feel like, you know, you're right on this sort of really nice uptick. It's a really wonderful time for us to be able to talk with you, and you know, you know, you've let us sort of ask you a lot of questions about what's going on in your career, and we appreciate. So like, if we can help you in anything, especially if it has to do with like, you know, cracking some codes in LA, like we're totally on board, man.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it, and thank you again for the opportunity. This was sick. Like I said, I have my Discord. Right now I have my little, what is it called when you make an update and it tells you my status on Discord. It's kind of like You know, with
No idea.
MySpace or Facebook, you set a status, and like people can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My status is like I'm doing my first streamer interview, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude! I was stoked, man. This is
I'm
sick.
surprised this is your first one, man.
Yeah, well,
I'm-
about streaming, like this feels really cool because this is still kind of a new world for me, and
Right.
I'm really in love with it.
Honored to be the first stream interview.
Thanks. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
cool.
that's really
We're getting
cool.
a lot
So-
of love and a lot of people saying they're going to road trip. They want to see these shows happen.
Freaking do it. Yeah. Well,
It sounds like you can't get out of it now, dude. You can't get out of it now.
they hold me to my word. That is for sure.
That's good.
Hashtag
And you could do,
sandwiches.
like, what about Northern California? Do you have some folks in Northern California that know about you as well as Southern California, LA?
I have people in Washington,
Okay, cool.
so they
Yep.
might be able to drive around.
Yep.
But I mean, if we have spots, I have a connection with the SoFar people, so maybe they'll be willing to do
That's
some
awesome.
SoFar shows along the way too.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just so new to the California area. I've only ever been to Fisherman's Wharf, and like that's not California. You know what I mean? Like it is, but it isn't.
That's way up there.
That's way up there. That's way
Yeah.
up there.
So-
But yeah, like let us, you know, we'd love to help. Even if it's just some info or some contacts or like, we're happy to help you make that happen, man.
That'd be awesome. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
And plus
And
we'll get to meet you and hear you live. So
Yeah, no, I think you'd like it. Everything I do here is exactly the same live. That's the coolest part. Is like
Yeah.
when you see me play, except I move around a little bit more, and I'm usually standing. I'm not a standing desk.
Have you ever done a live show with a sort of stream chat going at the same time? Does that work? Is that just
So
like a
many
wrong
people.
thing to do?
So many people ask me that. They always say,
It seems like the wrong thing to do.
"Por qué no los dos? Why not do both?" And I'm
Exactly.
like, you don't get it though, because when you're playing on Twitch, you're connecting with them. But if you're playing a live show, you're talking with them. Unless there's a way to bring everyone together where we're all on Twitch at the same time, reading the chat.
Yeah.
Because, dude, there's a disconnect when you're playing a live show and people want to hear a certain song. So, like, when I play at, like, a bar, those people don't know my song list. So that's, like, a benefit, a pro that Twitch has, is because they're like,
Sure.
I know what songs you can play.
Yep.
I still might try and request one, but at the same time, I know exactly what he can play. So if my favorite song's on that list, I can request it.
Yep.
At the bar, you can't do that. You're like, Hotel California.
The way Emma put it was, and I thought this was really like helpful for me to understand. She's like, when she and James were talking about the difference, she's like, when you go and play a show, you're playing to like 100 people.
Yeah.
When you do a Twitch live stream or a YouNow live stream, you're playing to that person for a second and then that person for a second, and you're sort of going in and out of people's worlds like moment by moment, and it's a completely different, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, unless there's a way to connect it later. I feel like there might be just one little thing that people need to connect the dots to in order for them both to be the same world.
Blend it.
Yeah, but as of right now, you're right. It's two different universes that kind of are similar, but not entirely. So yeah, you're playing to one person on Twitch, you know, because you're pretty much in the comfort of their home.
Right.
And your own. You're sharing everything. All you need is food and a cook, right? You're good.
Well, Matt, thank you for sharing everything.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate it.
This has been super fun, and again,
thanks for being on half an hour longer too than planned.
Oh yeah, you're good. I woke up early for you guys, so we're good.
Right on.
Appreciate it.
What time do you normally wake up, man?
We don't have to talk about that here. We really don't.
That's the boundary. Right
That's
there.
the subject that's off
I
limits.
love that.
Oh man. All right, yeah. Well, hey, chat. Thank you guys so much for popping in. If you popped in from the Discord, I appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you.
That's our boy. Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I wish you guys the most luck. I hope that this takes off.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you guys ever need anything, if you want to learn more about Twitch, I'm willing to share all my knowledge. I walked my musician friend yesterday through everything that I do. So,
thank you.
For sure. So yeah, we'll be in touch. And like I said, you know, when the time is right to put some aid together for you for California Man, like please let us know.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys stay safe with all the craziness going on.
Thank you.
Oh, thank
Likewise.
Yeah. All right, yo.
All right, Matt. Thank you so much again. Enjoy your
Peace
week.
out.
We'll talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. Are you doing the dragon or am I doing the dragon now?
Oh.
Ending it. How's it gonna go?
Like this.
Oh, dragging you out.
Peace out.
Thanks, y'all, for joining. Alex, I don't have my wings. Annie. Nuggets, I think it's still somewhere in here. Dance Mucky.
Tori, should we hang out for a minute or two more? That was amazing.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. You rock. Thanks
Thank you
also,
so much, Matt.
Matt's crew. It's so much love in the chat whenever his crew is around. It's awesome.
If you guys have anything else that we can talk about, I don't know if any of you, besides being fans of Matt, are interested in what we talk about. Thank you so much, Annie. If there's anything you think is just interesting about what artists are doing with live streaming that we could talk about a little more or cover, thank you very much, guys. This is super new, and like we're just sort of figuring it out one show at a time, one camera angle at a time. So we're open. Like for my mind, I think what's interesting to me is to talk to people who are doing something rad and then just let them talk about it. So Matt's a great example. We'd love to just have as many people on as possible so that whatever's being made on live streams, thank you. Professional, what are you talking about? That is not what we're going for here. Semi-professional.
Thank you, Cozy Midnight.
Thank you very much, guys. And thank you, Matt, for the likes. Dude.
Yes.
Super, super, super kind of you. Thank you so much.
We're trending with all these likes. Number 2.
I know. Thank you very much. So again, if you guys have like things that you think would be interesting, artists that you think would be interesting to explore, talk about, or anything that's just, I don't know, sort of something that you're finding curious about, how artists do live streams, things you'd like to see in live streaming. I guess I'll just mention too, we have how I got into this world sort of maybe 6 weeks ago. I'm a journalist and I write for some music industry publications. And when COVID hit, just like a lot of people in the music space, it was like, oh, this is what we're doing. And then it's like, nope, that won't work anymore. So I just kind of decided like, okay, there's a part of the music space that needs to be explored right now, today, this morning, about what is live streaming, how can people work remotely, what are different services that are out there, who's doing it, who's able to sustain themselves doing it, how are they doing that? So in some very, very microscopic way, it's like trying to help people within the music space not be really, really stuck right now. If you're a touring musician, you're going through a lot right now to try and figure out how you're going to make ends meet. And so one live stream at a time, I think the intention of this in particular is just to help get some stuff on the record about how this stuff works and what you can do about it. In addition, Tori, if you can post the link for the Music Business Registry.
Yeah.
Every month I'm going to be doing basically if this isn't nerdy enough for you already, at least the way I do my sort of vibe on it, I have a written monthly guide that has all the different live streaming options that are sort of central to the music space. We try and include a bunch of extra things every month, and right now it's free. So normally that's included as an insert for people that pay for our registry publications. But I got our publisher to basically make these available for free online. So every month those are going to be updated, but that's the one that's available right now. There's an interview there with Emma McGann. If you guys are familiar with her, she's amazing. She's kind of how we found, in a way, she's kind of how we found Matt, right?
I was in a raid. I was on Emma's stream. She raided Matt's stream, and then kind of like the rest of the viewers stuck around.
For sure. And Tori, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are, because your questions today were stellar.
Oh, thank you. I'm an event coordinator for a Live Nation company here in LA. And with COVID happening, I don't have any events to coordinate. So Pete hit me up and kind of turned my direction focus to now coordinating live streams, which has been really fun because I've kind of jumped in, like cannonballed into the streaming world, the Twitch world, the YouNow world with musicians and artistry, and seeing how it all works in the community and how it just feels like another venue for artists to perform at, basically. Yeah, that's kind of how I came into this world, and it's been a lot of fun. Like it kind of blends. I loved watching YouTube videos and like the YouTube community, and I love the music community, and streaming is kind of just a happy blend of both of those channels. And I fit right in and didn't know until all of this. So if one thing were to come from this pandemic, one good thing, it was introducing me to like the streaming world, which has been fun.
I'm glad to hear that, because I mean, it's not like you didn't know about live streaming before we kind of reconnected, but
definitely knew about it, but also kind of like Matt was saying, I thought it was more of a gamer side, which, don't get me wrong, I love playing video games. I love watching people play video games. I just always did it on past already recorded videos, like on YouTube. And it's so different coming into it live now in the moment, commenting, getting those shout outs. That's cool. It's fun.
I mean, I would also say for any of you guys, thank you very much, Florence. I would say for any of you guys, you know, Matt talked about it for a second. I think you and I have kind of lived it the last 5 weeks. Like, certainly as far as live streaming goes, if anyone that's watching this is like, oh, maybe I could do a live stream, stop thinking that and just, you know, open, right? Start a channel if you don't have one already. If you have a channel, or if you have something, just figure out something you're going to do, and don't worry about figuring everything out. Just get in there and get your hands dirty with it, right, Tori?
That's exactly what we did. We didn't have audio. We're like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Next day,
totally.
live.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, even basic stuff, like there was a point where we had a YouNow stream, and we're like, how do you guess somebody? And then this is where I really got sold on YouNow, to be honest with you, because like we were like sitting there going, I don't know, how do you do it? I don't know. And Kung Flu Fighter is just like popping onto our thing, and he's like, yo, this is how you do it. And he showed us. And it sounds really simple, but like, it's like, oh, I like this place. Like, people are cool here. You know what I mean? Like, helpful. And like, okay, we figured that out. And then every day it's something else we got to figure out. Like, oh, how do we keep a video? You know, where are we going to keep it? We'll keep it on YouTube. Okay, now we're doing that. So like, now we have a YouTube place. Anyway,
which if you guys want to watch past streams, YouTube link is in the bio. And the past streams aren't there yet, but they will be uploaded.
For sure.
Annie had a good comment here.
I think what's really cool about music streaming is that I feel as a viewer, I get so much more of a behind the scenes feel, but at the same time, the community itself makes you feel
involved.
Oh, I don't see that.
Scroll down.
No, I think that's a mobile thing, because it's not on my screen.
Oh, weird.
I'm on an iPad. Yeah. Makes you feel
wholeheartedly agree, Annie. You kind of become a part of the show, basically. Dragging people on stage.
dude, and I think you guys will understand what I'm about to say because like it's weird to talk about artists because it's weird to talk about art and try and be like, oh, what makes it work and why is it like that, and you should just listen to it or enjoy it. And but like one of the things that's interesting to me about live streaming is someone like Matt or someone like Emma, they're incredibly good at this, and most people don't even know what this is. And I think that's what you're getting at, that how do you make someone feel like it's behind the scenes, and how do you create a space where that feels the way it does? It's not easy to do. And I think it's nice to be able to just not just sort of dissect what people are doing, but also just, show people that are doing this really well and let people know about what they're doing. It's like, it kind of blows my mind that what you just said is true. I don't know how
Behind the scenes feel. Yeah.
Yeah. It's tricky, and I think it's a testament to people like Matt and Emma that they're able to do that and just be themselves and create real time like that. I think Matt, even more than Emma, I feel like Matt like literally just is right there in the moment all the time. He doesn't.
I can't believe when he said he doesn't prepare for things. I'm like, yeah. How is every song so good? All the mashups, and you didn't prepare. You're just like on the spot, which also goes hand in hand very well with streaming because it's all live. It's all on the spot.
Right. So Annie says, absolutely. Even before streaming was a thing, I think as a fan of things, I would get more invested in shows based off how communicative, ooh, nice word, the cast could be. We like SAT words. Could be on the Twitter or Instagram. So you're saying I would get more invested in shows based on how communicative the cast could be. So in other words,
when you get to know,
actually having a back and forth with, right. And you can't really do that in a live show, even if someone's really good at interacting on live, and they're like, there's all sorts of cool shit happening from the stage and with the crowd. It's not the same. There's just not enough bandwidth on a live show to have that much going on. And I can't talk to someone in the back of the room at a show, but I can talk to anybody that's watching on the live stream,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's rad. It's rad. I'm just curious, are any of you guys like musicians, or do you have any interest in anything in the music space? If not, that's totally fine. But I'm just curious, like, are you guys just fans straight up and you just, I like the music and I do other stuff the rest of my life? Or do you have an interest in anything about how music works in any way? Let us know. So Tori, dude, great questions.
Thank you. That was fun.
That was I was least prepared for that one of any of the other ones. So you sort of like came and you're like, here's another
I know you
question.
had a publication deadline.
Yeah, I had a mad deadline yesterday and some other stuff, but still, like, I love that Matt was on, and I feel like he's someone that brings a lot to what we're trying to do. So I'm glad.
Especially
for a hobby, sure. Professionally, not really. I got you.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Cool. It was cool to get him too in his moment in streaming where he's like on this crazy growth.
Completely.
And hearing the behind the scenes of that.
Yeah.
Really right just love Annie. Music. That's why we're all here.
Yep. For real. By the way, James Vincent McMorrow, I don't know if you guys are into him at all, and he's not really a similar artist to Matt, but when I was listening to some of Matt's stuff the last couple days to just sort of like let it get in, inside of me a little bit, one of the artists who I love is that reminds me a little bit of some of the stuff that Matt does is James Vincent McMorrow. His first record that he put out probably 6-7 years ago is really, really, really minimal. And it's just him, guitar, vocals, and like a couple of extra things here and there. I think it was produced exclusively by him. And it's like magic, and there's there's not a lot of people that can pull off that. Yeah, you guys would love it. I mean, I think you would, just because there's a lot of things that make Matt really special as an artist, and you guys might. Are there any artists that you would say that are sort of like people you like? I mean, obviously Coldplay. I think there's some things that, you know, he does some Coldplay covers, and I can imagine he's probably a fan of Coldplay. Any artists that you would say are kind of like people you might mention that they might dig if they don't know him already?
Like Matt?
Yeah, or just like in that world you like.
Ooh, I think one thing that kept me on Matt's stream was the loop pedal. Like,
Yeah.
loop pedals and loops and being able to juggle them blow my mind. And the fact that he was doing it live. But I went to an Ed Sheeran concert. I love Ed Sheeran. And he was at the Hollywood Bowl, which is this huge, for the people not in California,
Yep.
huge venue on kind of a hill.
Outdoor venue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was just Ed and his loop pedal. And I was like,
Wow.
where's the band? Where's the backup? Like, I just am so used to people having the backup. And he did a whole 2-hour concert, just him, guitar, loop pedal, held it. Everyone was stoked. And that was kind of my first, like, mind blown. Like, how did he capture all these people for 2 hours, just him and a loop pedal? So, like, that, I think.
He kind of developed he was busking a lot when he was earlier on in his career, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think now he has band and does a little more production with stuff, but
yeah,
just the whole.
It's tough to do that, man. It's really like, anyway, props. So thank you.
You're harmonizing with yourself, and to go on about that.
But you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. Like, it means a lot to us, because again, it's like throwing a party and you're like, I hope some people show up. So we're talking, Tori was talking about Ed Sheeran as someone that sort of is a master of the loop pedal and did like a 2-hour show at a pretty big venue here in LA, and just crushed it like one person. That's super hard to do, right? But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. It means a lot to us, and we're learning the ropes. So thanks for like helping us out and being patient as we're trying to like, oh, we should say something. We should respond to you guys. Anything else?
And being so, I was gonna say thanks for being, excuse me, so welcoming in the chat. Like, they're the nicest people. I love it.
Yeah. Saying
hi and bye and how are you? And we'll be back again here on Friday.
Yes, we
10
will.
a.m. Pacific. What is that?
1 p.m. Eastern time, if you guys are in Florida or elsewhere on the East Coast. So the one on Friday, sort of full disclosure, is even nerdier than this one was. Sherry Hugh, why don't you post, maybe put her link on there so people can. So Sherry Hugh is like basically the live stream expert. I mean, I don't think there's anyone, maybe Karen Allen, who's sort of an expert on Twitch specifically, but I think Sherry Hugh is like, if you ask Sherry Hugh a question, she's like the oracle. It's like, what is this? How does this work with this? Or where is this moving? She's super smart, and she has an amazing website and Patreon, and she's just like an incredible resource for trying to figure out how the sort of digital stuff in music is happening. So she's coming on Friday, and we're going to be talking about what makes good live streams and stuff like that. So she's not going to be coming on with a guitar. Of course, either did Matt, but it's more of that stuff. So we're also going to be doing kind of a blend of artists and experts. So we're every Wednesday and Friday, 10 a.m. PST. Tori Owens, Peter Petro, LiveonLive. And again, can't thank you guys enough for being so cool and walking with us on our new baby live stream.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
So have a great week, and we'll see you Friday. Pop in.
Woo.
Thanks, Tori. Thank you
Welcome.
guys so much.